Hello everyone, I'm Manish,
I'm Reid.
and we're here to talk about patch 518 notes. It's going to
The
be
world,
coming.
the World Championship patch.
Yeah, it's going to be coming out tonight, and this is the patch Worlds is going to be on, so it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's start off here with an
I
Anivia buff.
I really like this because Anivia is my favorite champion. So when I saw an Anivia buff, I started freaking out, and then I actually read it, and it's not really a buff. It's more like a quality of life buff, where her E now deals double damage to Dragon and Baron if they're afflicted by her little like frosty buff.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Anivia's Q and R apply a debuff on things they hit. The debuff is called Chilled, and while an enemy is chilled, her E, Frostbite, does double damage. There was a patch last year, maybe, where Dragon and Baron became immune to debuffs because NCC. Because Trundle was using his ultimate to just like shred 25% of their armor and MR and steal it, and they were just like super easy to kill after that. So Baron and Dragon are immune to debuffs, and a year and a half later, Anivia can do double damage to them again. Pretty nice.
Which is really nice, because now I can fuck up my jungler's smite and have it stolen.
Yep.
So that's fun.
Okay.
So now this, I feel like this is like the 17th time they've changed Braum's Q.
Yeah.
Where they raise the mana cost, and then they lower the mana cost, and then they increase the damage, and then they decrease the damage, then they change the mana cost again. Like, they don't know what to do.
Well, as far as the meta goes, Braum is here.
He is.
Tuesday.
He has definitely risen over the past month or so.
Yeah, and like a mana cost increase of 10 doesn't seem like a huge deal, because it's not really. It doesn't change like, it doesn't change too much in the short term. What it does change is like, if you use 5 Qs over the course of laning phase, that's like 50 more mana out of your pool of like 300 or whatever it is.
Pool's not a lot. I don't know what the number is.
Yeah, it's not a lot. But like 50 mana out of 300 for 5 Qs in lane adds up a decent bit. So the intent of this change is to make it so he can't just like try to land on a Q on someone in laning phase like whenever he wants.
Yeah,
because
he has to be more precise about it.
Yeah, his
More
Q is pretty devastating. It just like auto stun. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So this is, this is like a change that doesn't lower his damage or utility or anything, but it makes players have to be more careful about how they use his Q.
Has to make them better, which for some people might be a challenge.
This change will separate the good Brahms from the great Brahms.
Yeah.
All right, next, Caitlyn. Do you care about Caitlyn?
No.
No? Yeah, let's talk about her anyway.
I never use disability, to be quite honest.
Yeah, a lot of people forget about it.
But I know someone who he would almost only play Caitlyn, and every time he does, he would put snap traps down, and I was like, no one's gonna step on that. And then 45 seconds later, someone steps on it, and we get a kill, and I was like, I can never believe it.
You know why they step on him, right?
Why is that? Oh,
cupcakes.
Well, that's true.
Cupcakes. Everyone loves cupcakes.
Everyone does love cupcakes, but I never play Caitlyn, and B, when I do play Caitlyn, I almost never use this ability. But
right.
I guess the fact that it's getting buffed, maybe I'll use it once.
Yeah.
Maybe twice.
Mana cost reduction by 20. Same as Braum, except in the opposite direction. Now she can spam it a little bit more and just throw cupcakes down wherever. And I actually think this is a pretty big change, because you see the rank 1 cooldown goes from 20 to 16, but the rank 5 cooldown stays the same.
Right.
It's 8 to 8.
So it only really helps her early game.
So it only helps when your snap trap is at rank 1. Little bit rank 2, helps less at rank 3, less at rank 4. It doesn't do anything at rank 5. But snap trap is the ability that you just leave it at 1 point until like level 14.
Yeah, most people that I'm aware of max.
Yeah, the net second.
Trap. Yeah, the max the net second.
Net second, snap trap last. Yeah, so this is pretty much just lowering the cooldown on snap traps by 4 seconds for like 65% of the game. That's pretty big.
It is. It's definitely you could more, at least for me, be more chances for me to put traps down that no one steps on, and then I waste 30 mana, and then when they're really low and I try to queue them and realize I have no mana, I start crying.
And also the 20 mana cost reduction, if you look at it as a percentage, 20 mana out of 50 mana is a 40% mana cost reduction. It's a pretty big deal.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I think this will be a pretty good change.
It's not gonna make it competitive.
It might. Snap traps are pretty good. They're pretty obnoxious because they give you zone control in pro play because people don't step on them.
Yeah,
so
but how often do they have 2v2 lanes in pro play?
Doesn't matter about the 2v2 lanes. If you're sieging turrets, snap traps are really good. You'll notice that supports and people always have to like step on it as soon as Caitlyn puts it down before it's dangerous to step on it. So, having snap traps more frequently, it adds to her siege potential. This is a pretty significant change. I don't know if it'll make her competitive, but I think it'll make people want to try.
Yeah.
Darius.
Oh, fuck this guy.
So, one nerf, I think. Maybe. Not really.
No, there's
sort
two.
of.
There's one nerf, and then it's an early game nerf, late game buff.
You mean the max heal? Right.
Because in lane, you're
one
probably
guy.
only hitting one person, so you're healing for less. But late game, in team fights, you're healing for way too much.
Yeah. Well, before you needed to hit 2 people to get the full heal. Now you need to hit 3.
Yeah. So even if you hit 2 people now, you're still getting less, which isn't that bad.
Yeah. So that's pretty much a nerf. You have the potential to heal more if you hit 3 people instead of 2, which I actually think is a nice way to compensate a champion for a nerf. Like, you give them a reward for doing something well.
Yeah.
To make up for the fact that you're making, their normal pattern less rewarding. This mana cost increase is probably good. There was a Reddit post a while ago.
I do remember that Reddit post where they said, like, he can spam all of his abilities on cooldown and never run out of mana.
Yeah.
And I did not know that, and I thought that was ridiculous.
30 mana, bro.
Oh.
30 mana?
I don't know, like 30 mana, heal for 30% of my missing health. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so 30 to 50 is, 66% increase in mana cost?
Because most people max that first, right?
Yeah. So, like, this increase at later levels becomes relevant for a huge part of the game.
Yeah.
It's not like the snap traps where it's just, 4 seconds for half the game.
Right.
This is going to cost you...
You could be level 9, it's going to cost 50 mana.
It's going to cost you 66% more mana for
hopefully,
half the game.
Hopefully, like the Braum queue, people just don't spam it willy-nilly and they actually have to, like, try and place it.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
We'll see. Alright, Elise nerf. This nerf is just like Spiderling base damage, down by 5 every increasing rank, so 15 at max rank. I don't think 15 damage at max rank is a big deal. At least in competitive, most junglers...
When does is that like 1/6?
Yeah, so this would be like level 1, level 6, level 11, level 16 probably.
I don't know...
So, like...
how much difference it's going to make.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's going to reduce her damage output, but I don't know if it's going to be, like, a meaningful amount.
So, for Elise, specifically, 1 to 5 is a pretty big deal for your early ganks. That's when it stays the same.
Yeah.
This will be
5.
6 to 10. 6 to 10 is still a pretty big deal.
That's like
5 less damage.
From, like, mid-game team fights.
Yeah, mid-game team fights and
like
stuff.
First dragon. Like, first dragon.
I think...
maybe.
First dragon, well, not in China, but first dragon, most of the world.
4th dragon in China.
Yeah. First dragon, most of the world is like these 2 numbers. And that's pretty significant. It is the Spiderling attacks.
Yeah, but I don't even think people are picking Elise for the Spiderling damage.
Yeah.
Picking Elise because of her 1.6 second cocoon stun.
Yeah,
and then they die before the Spiderlings really can do that much damage anyway.
That's true. Also, I think the percentage max health, percentage missing health on her Q?
Yeah.
In the human form, melee form?
Yeah.
So I think she'll probably still be fine.
Yeah, she'll still.
If anything, the Spiderlings matter most if you're dueling another jungler in a 1v1, like in an invade, something like that. That's where the Spiderling damage can really add up. Because in team fights, they're susceptible to AoE. They'll just like die instantly.
There's.
So,
and you're not always in spider form in team fights.
Yeah.
Because cocoon.
So this will actually hurt her skirmishing a decent bit. 10 less damage per hit for like 3 Spiderlings is 30 less damage together. It could make a pretty big difference. Like
she'll still be seen in
probably, but she might not be first pick, first ban anymore because she might not be able to just like.
She might be in that like tier 1B. Junglers.
Yeah, because this might be enough of a damage decrease to make it so she can't flat out win a duel against any other jungler.
Right.
So we'll see how that goes. Ezreal, my favorite champ. I love this buff. 0.5 bonus attack damage on your E. They say here 2 kinds of Ezreals. The first kinds are cowards, and the second kind are real men like me. We E in to kill people.
Of course.
0.5 bonus attack damage, pretty sweet.
It's like when you're LeBlanc and you flash forward, so you flash forward and then do your double W for damage.
Yeah,
so
instead of W flash.
Yeah, no, like that's stupid.
Perfect. But if you W first, the pad is farther away for when you blink back. Not worth it.
No.
Not worth it.
It doesn't matter, they're dead.
Yep.
You don't need to go back that far.
So yeah.
This doesn't affect me at all because I'm scared. I also don't play Ezreal, but I almost never arcane shift forward. So this, and in lane, this isn't really going to affect him that much.
Well, it helps your all-in potential a little bit.
I mean, in lane, what are you going to have? Are you going to have like 20 base AD?
20 bonus, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. So
your arcane shift does 10 more damage.
Yeah. So Ezreal builds Triforce usually, so 0.5 bonus attack damage from Triforce isn't that much. It's not like old Bloodthirster, where it was 180, so that's 50 damage. Instead, Triforce is 30, this is like 15. But sometimes Ezreal builds Muramana, and Muramana...
Yeah, if he goes like Triforce, Muramana, BT.
BT. That's a pretty hefty amount of flat attack damage.
That's better.
I think Muramana is what, like...
It's 20 base, but then it scales off your max mana.
Right.
Where if you have
2%, I think.
I think it's 2%. Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll probably have 2,000 mana, so 40.
Because you have that and then the Triforce.
Yeah. So it's like 50 more damage.
Late game it could be better. Early game it doesn't really affect them that much.
Yeah. Well, okay. So anytime you buff the ratios on an ability, it's generally a late game buff.
Yeah.
So
that's true. Especially if it's bonus attack damage instead of just total.
And flat damage buffs like Elise tend to be more
early game.
Nerfs / buffs tend to be more for early game. So we'll see how that goes.
All right, I played this champ when they reworked her. I played her once, maybe twice, and I have a friend who swore she was terrible, and I was like, I don't know, let people just figure her out, and now she's fucking busted.
Language, bro.
She's one of those power 6, like if you don't ban her, you lose.
Yeah. That's pretty true. The main things they changed were her tankiness. So her HP per level is 7, her base health is down by 20, base armor down by 3. 3 armor is pretty significant. Basically, she's taking 3% more damage. You can think of it that way. Yeah. That's not the exact number, roughly.
So she's more abusable early game. And what is this? The lunge.
Oh no, it's not even close to 3% more damage actually. So
I don't know how that math works.
Okay, so the way this math works is like her armor goes from 27 to 24.
Right.
Her armor decreases by 3. 3 out of 9, 3 out of 27 is 1/9. Yeah. Which means she's now taking 1/9 more damage, which is like 9%. With only her base armor. Most people tend to use armor runes for like 12 armor. Yeah. Her armor per level is still the same. So like at level 1 this hits her pretty hard. Later in the game
it's not that. Yeah, so she's more she can be more abused more early.
basically, when you hit like 100 armor, which is where most people will end up on Fiora, it's 3% more damage. So that's where I got 3% from.
Oh, that's fine, yeah. Now
So it's pretty significant.
Also fixed / No, it's really just a bug fix. I didn't know she could. I didn't know she could parry ignite.
She can?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, damn.
She parried my Gyarados the other day. I was really upset.
I was playing Lux into Fiora one time.
Bitch.
That was super sad. Laser. No, I blocked the laser with my sword.
Now reveals Fiora to her target if she. What?
If she hits them on the flog board. Oh, do you know how her Q works?
No.
It's like a dash. The dash is a skill shot.
Right.
And then she throws an auto attack at something if it's in range.
Okay.
It's kind of like Ezreal's E, where it just goes and then hits something.
Oh,
if they're in
okay.
range.
Okay. Now I see it. Okay.
So now it hits them.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
it reveals them if she hits them.
Okay. There we go.
So like.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Anywho,
they nerfed her and then bug fixed her.
Yeah.
Sure.
No compensation buffs because.
Don't let her get fed. She'll fuck your day up.
Yeah, probably. 20 health at level 1, 7 health per level. How much is that at 18? 70, 56, 100, like 150 health. She lost a ruby crystal in stats. Poor girl.
Good.
I like this, though, because she's a little too tanky, I think. It's kind of hard to kill her for someone who does so much damage. So yeah, I like this change. She'll probably still be good, just harder to play. Since she still does as much damage.
She has to be more careful.
Yeah. She does as much damage. It's a little easier for her to do damage with this change. Also with this change. But she dies more easily. So I think as far as pro level play, where you can't really play her much better than you are now, she'll probably still be picked.
Yeah. You have to be just a smidge more careful.
This change I was pretty happy with.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Really?
All the time. I cancel it immediately because I'm spam right click like a moron.
I learned to just like press R and take my hands off the keyboard.
Like dive out the window.
Yeah. Get this thing away from me. So this is a good thing.
Yay, Galio.
Pro players spam click a lot. Maybe this is why Galio was never picked professionally.
That's it.
That's it.
They always
Galio at Worlds, boys.
I mean, there was that one team. It was Warlib. He played Galio top once or twice.
Warlib? Oh, you're talking about Giants in EU?
Yeah.
Was it Galio top?
Yeah, he won once and then got smacked daddy the second time.
Remember CLG used to run Galio support. I think Gambit might have tried it too at some point.
Gambit tries a lot of stuff that doesn't work.
Oh, Edward.
Excuse me, goes with Pepper. He changed his name back.
Whatever. So, Garen.
They needed to do this.
Killing Garen no longer causes the killer to gain villainy.
Because before you're getting punished for winning lane.
That's
stupid.
Nah, that's pretty silly. This bug fix is pretty interesting.
What are you killing a clone of
I didn't know
Garen's
that was a bug.
allies cost? That is weird.
So this is like
that. I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, so if you have like a Shaco on your team and he ults, or if a LeBlanc goes into passive, that's a clone.
Yeah.
So then killing the clone would make you the villain, even though
I
you
didn't know that
actually
happened.
kill him. Yeah, that's a pretty weird bug.
So that's good.
Spaghetti code, whatever. Okay.
All right, this. I don't really think he's still gonna chunk people. It's just not gonna be as much.
Yeah. So.
And it doesn't really. It hurts him a little bit in lane, but not really, because it's just 20 off the board.
Well, it's 20 off the board each time you hit them. The armor pen is a huge deal. Remember before I said base damage changes tend to be early mid-game nerfs, and then scaling changes are for late game?
So it's both.
Yeah, so this is a scaling change. Armor pen is important.
It's still going to chunk like 80 carries.
Yeah, that's true. So like...
And mid laners if they don't have Azonias.
Even with Azonias, it'll still do a decent bit. Basically, this is saying popping a barrel on a tank did too much damage. And I agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
There was...
Because there's like 60% armor pen.
Yeah, that's way too much. And then this bonus damage change, it'll really hurt his trading in lane.
Yeah.
And his harass potential there. Also, no, mostly just trading and harass.
Yeah, because like late game at rank 5, that 20 damage isn't.
Yeah, so it's gonna, instead of
much.
critting for 1,050, it's 1,030.
Yeah.
We're saved. Only 1,030 damage crit.
Better chug that health bot that you still have at 40 minutes.
Although the armor pen's pretty huge. So
He's still gonna chunk carries. He's just not gonna do as much to the front line.
Yeah.
Which is needed.
I agree. It's pretty hard to play against Gangplank as like Shen or something, and you're like, oh, he's physical damage.
I'm tanky.
Yeah, no, you're not.
6% armor pen. Fuck. Damn it.
The thing I really don't like about this skill is the slow on it. I felt like before it did too much damage and it slowed for way too much.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been happy if it slowed for less and still did as much damage. I'm okay with it doing less damage and still slowing. I'm okay with this.
Can't do both. I'm saying it can't do both.
Yeah,
it can't slow for that much and like kill you.
It might still be a little too good for an ability, but it's pretty hard to set up, especially with the change. The last patch before, where they changed the barrel arm time.
Yeah, I think they lengthened it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So you can't just like put a barrel down.
Throw.
Before you could put a barrel down, parley it, and put a second one down before the bullet hit the first one.
Yeah.
And that was just stupid. Stupid.
So now I have a slightly unrelated question. Are we going to see more Gangplank mid lane or top lane at Worlds?
Oh, that totally depends on the player. So like, Orihin.
I know Soaz plays in top.
Orihin's Soaz.
But there are a lot of people in like
in China. I think.
China, and I think in Korea.
In China, there's people who do both. I think.
Are they?
Yeah,
It depends on the comp, I guess.
So I was watching the, what do you call it? The Gauntlet in Korea. Generic Green Wings mid laner, whose name I forget, was playing Trace? No, Trace is a jungler. He was playing mid lane Gangplank. It's pretty good. Right. I think it might. So if you do it mid, you can run like Rumble Top to cover your magic damage, or Corki 80 carry or something.
Nidalee jungle.
I don't really like Nidalee jungle. I feel like if you're running...
I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh, yeah. If you're going to run Rumble Top, I don't want to run Nidalee jungle.
I didn't say both. I meant either.
Well, yeah. Oh, that's true. As long as you have magic damage from somewhere, I think Gangplank mid is pretty cool. Gangplank top is risky.
I don't like him top as much.
You lose your tank, right?
You lose your tank. You don't have as much... Because then you're like forced to pick something like Gragas.
Jungle?
In the jungle, yeah.
Forced to pick Gragas. Oh, no.
Well, what if he's banned or picked away? Then what are you going to do? You're going to pick Jarvan because they gave him 2 armor. And they wrote 2 giant paragraphs for the context of giving him 2 base armor.
So, 2 armor at level 1 means he takes a lot less damage on the first camp, second camp, and like third camp. 4th camp, 5th camp when he's jungling. This is a significant change for one reason, and that is if you're jungling, you want to do your first clear, and then after your first clear, some junglers have HP to gank and some don't. And this extra armor will
give him more HP.
Yeah, just a little bit more HP, which is probably enough to get him to, healthy enough to do the gank after the first clear.
Until you miss your EQ like me.
Yeah.
And then you walk away in shame.
That's okay. After you miss the EQ the first time, you can eventually buy the new jungle item and get 5 extra attack damage on it.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Sorry. Talk about that later.
How dare you.
Lulu.
This is definitely, please go play her support again and get rid of her mid lane and top lane.
That's interesting because... Well, actually, yeah. So this is health per level. Supports tend to have less levels than solo laners in general. So this will not hurt support Lulu as badly as it will hurt solo lane Lulu.
Yeah.
And then you're right about this being support Lulu.
That's huge.
Yeah. This is like, please player support.
Yeah.
Please.
Because now she's like barred in that way.
Because the Meep spell thief?
Yeah, because he can get 1 from his auto attack and then 1 from the Meep, so he like gets
2 for 1.
Yeah. And Lulu can do it too. Yay.
So yeah, now you just auto one Glitter
Yeah.
Lance, 15 gold.
This is Riot's like silent plea for people to stop playing Lulu and solo lane.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is, solo lane Lulu is really hard to gank. Like, a lot of times she just barely gets away with the speed up, or polymorph, or shield, or whatever. The slow, wild growth. It's all pretty annoying. Make her just a little easier to kill. 8 health per level. Like 1 less auto late game.
What's 8 times 18? 64 plus 80.
144.
There it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like 1 less auto late game.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, it's not a crit, but it's an auto.
Yeah.
The big man.
Alright. I played this guy exactly once when they reworked him, and I got beat down by a mirror lane Mordekaiser who knew way more about what to do than I did.
Alright then.
Plus, he had a Leona, I had like a Janna. So they just engaged and kicked the shit out of us.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
Mordekaiser is not Ashe. He does not engage for his team.
And also, because I was actually like building AD like a moron, but I saw there's a video on Reddit of Reckless playing Mordekaiser, and he didn't build any AD.
Oh yeah.
He built Rylai's into Twin Shadows, into Abyssal, into he also bought cooldown boots somewhere along the way. Abyssal into Zonia's, into another needlessly large rod, but then they won.
Did he get a Rylai or no?
He got that first.
First, right?
Yeah,
I wasn't paying that much attention. Sorry.
I don't know what his last time was. I guess Death Cap. It was either Death Cap or Ludens. Those are the only things left.
Maybe.
From needlessly large rod that he could have bought.
Yeah.
But he built no AD.
AD carry builds AP items.
Which I thought was weird. And then, this is kind of unrelated, but like with the new champion, you can go with the AP Mordekaiser bot lane in the dual lane, and then have your AD carry in the jungle. And have your mid laner be
Gangplank.
Full tank Scion.
Oh my god.
And your top laner
Yes.
AFKs. I don't know.
We'll make the mid laners play the tanks now. Top lane you
I want to see Bjergsen play full tank Maokai. I'd be like, I hate my life.
What a waste of Bjergsen.
I want to see that.
Oh my god. Alright. So this armor, 5 armor, level 1.
That
pretty big.
Could be big.
He's really obnoxiously tanky at low levels, which is why his laning is so good.
Yeah, with the shield.
Yeah, shield in combination with the armor.
Yeah.
So like armor buffs, armor nerfs to Mordekaiser are kind of doubly effective because he has less armor for his HP bar and less armor for his shield.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I don't know why they gave, if they're trying to make him a dual laner, I don't know why they gave him back the self cast on W.
Oh. Well, they did mention here something that they want to... They did mention something, yeah. Letting Mord self-cast the skill should give him more punch back in solo lane. But for this patch, we're more focused on seeing how it plays out before assessing our next move. So maybe they're deciding that dual lane Mordekaiser is not a good idea. Maybe. Probably not. I think it's fun to steal Dragon. I think it's fun to be level 6 when they're level 4.
That's so OP.
I think it's not fun at all to play against. So yeah.
It's so OP for the dragon thing, but they're not going to take that away from it.
Well.
They are nerfing the healing.
Oh yeah, so...
they increased the damage, though.
Right, but the damage doesn't double when the zones overlap.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's like
true.
The damage went up by 20, but at rank 1 it could have been 100. Like it was either 50 or 100.
Right,
now it's just 70.
Which I guess is alright.
And then, what, you max this one first, right? The W?
That was Q.
No, some people do W, some people do Q, some people do E.
It might be... Oh, and that was another problem I did when I played Mordekaiser. I maxed E like a dummy.
Nah, that's the old build.
Yeah, and then the other guy built Triforce and max Q and just...
Oh, you know, the other day on op.gg, highest Mordekaiser win rate build had 2 Rylai Crystal Scepters.
Just for that much more health?
I don't know.
Why not a Leandry's?
I don't know.
So it's old.
You can build whatever, dude. He's broken.
Burns for more. Yeah, he is one of those like build whatever you want.
It's like Gangplank back in the day when he could go anywhere
Mage
and
plank.
do anything.
Mage plank, tank plank, bank plank.
Yeah.
Deny plank.
Oh boy. Oh, and then the most popular build on that same day had 2 Hextech Gunblades.
Seems excessive.
I don't know, man. Anywho.
I'm just saying what Reckless built.
Yeah.
And he had Faker as his support, so I trust that.
So the healing against minions, lane sustain. It's kind of bad design to have a champion whose abilities cost health, but then he has health sustain in his kit because he's sort of not, like, his abilities aren't costing him anything apart from the cooldowns.
Yeah, it's a little odd.
Counterintuitive.
Yeah.
I think that's my main issue with Vladimir. Like, he has his E that cost health. His Q gives him back so much.
Because his Q is free.
Yeah. Although, I guess the point of the E is that you can heal back the health you lost. But with Mordekaiser, it's different because...
he's a shield.
Yeah, the shield is like the health gain he gets.
Yeah.
Like, you give up...
Plus the actual health he gets.
Yeah, so I think the health... Like, the healing is a little excessive since he already has the shield. I guess that's the issue with Mordekaiser that I have. Little rant. Whatever. Maximum units drained is actually pretty big nerf. So...
Because now that's enemy champions or minions?
Yeah. So it does reduced healing to minions, right? So before you could heal, like, get a full heal just from hitting 3 creeps.
Yeah.
Now if you hit 2 creeps, which is the max, you get half of that healing, which is pretty good. Pretty good change. It hurts his sustain a lot.
It hurts his sustain.
A lot.
And now that's the health costs, it hurts it more. So...
Yep.
Maybe people won't ban him, and then... I play solo queue anyway, like, what does it matter?
Well, maybe. But they are addressing the main concern people had about Juggernauts being super OP when Worlds comes around. And it looks like they're toning him down. We'll see how it plays out.
I still want to see someone play Mordekaiser in the bot lane.
Oh, me too. Me too. We'll see.
It's like that one time, I don't even remember this happened, but I was, like, watching something. And it was, like, Season 3 spring. And for some unknown reason, Wild Turtle was playing Xin Zhao.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And it just...
I think that was Reggie's last game when he played Teemo mid.
No, it was during LCS regular season.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't during Worlds.
Oh.
And he didn't play Teemo mid, he played Teemo AD carry. Where Darius played support Thresh.
Oh.
Nick Special went top and played Vladimir or something.
I have no idea then.
And Turtle went.
TSM troll so much.
I just, like, I mean, I don't remember if they won or not, but I was like, why is he... Whatever. Alright, Morgana, lower mana cost.
Lower mana cost and our binding at...
Lower mana cost, but at level 1...
Level 1 it's the same.
That doesn't matter because most people...
Max it first.
Well, no, mid laners max it second.
No one plays Morgana mid, bro.
I laned against one the other day.
Okay, fine. No one in competitive plays Morgana mid, bro.
Kicked her ass.
This is Worlds patch. We only care about how this affects Worlds.
And I didn't care about her spell shield. My Q punched right through that.
Alright.
I didn't give a shit.
So.
Yeah, this doesn't really hurt her.
It helps her.
That's right, it's a nerf. It's a buff. What the hell?
So.
Especially because most people who play Morgana play her support, and most people who play support Morgana max that
Q.
first.
Yep.
So that's
pretty good.
Like whatever the other one was that we were talking about before.
Yep. They specifically mentioned something about supports who are working their mana overtime. So, like, now you don't have to worry about being for the binding, which is nice.
Yeah.
The other thing, when you lower the mana cost of an ability, you can use it more often.
It's like a miss more often.
Well, you can miss more often.
Yeah.
Afro can hit more often.
Afro doesn't play Morgana.
Used it.
Plays Bard.
Sorry. Anywho, so when you have Morgana in a team in LCS or wherever, it's really exciting when they throw the binding, because everyone's like, and it either misses and they're like, "Aw," or it hits and they're like, "Hype!" And
hype that they're not gonna move for an hour.
What's the team gonna do now? Are they gonna kill him? Maybe
not.
It's pretty hype.
And again, going back to that Reckless Faker game, Their mid was a Morgana, actually, now that I remember.
Oh, yeah!
And there was just, like, a CC train. Like, you would not believe. Like, it was, like, Blitzcrank Hook into Morgana Bind, into Tom, the SKT's jungler, who was playing Rammus. He would taunt them. Like, it was just, like...
Rammus. I wonder if he'll show up at Worlds.
You
know, tangent. Rammus is hilarious against Yasuo because Yasuo's Tornado, his Q, like the third Q that goes at range, it applies on hit effects. So like Rammus with Thornmail and W up. Yesterday I was playing a game and Yasuo threw a Tornado at a Rammus when he had like 50 health and was like out of the fight because he thought he made it out and he was like, oh, I'll just throw some extra damage in. It killed him.
That's funny.
It applied the Thornmail on hit. It's pretty troll.
That's funny.
Yep.
I'm gonna say no to the Rammus just because.
Well,
those caliber of teams can abuse the fact that he does almost nothing early game.
That's fine. If you have all AD team comps, Rammus and Malphite.
Rammus top though. All that sustain in lane.
Maybe.
All zero.
Anywho. Lowering mana cost Dark Binding later ranks.
Good.
More spammy, more hype moments in pro games.
More missing for me.
So this is an exciting change. I like this one. I don't like playing against
I don't know if they're gonna pick her.
They might.
Although there are a lot of CC heavy supports nowadays. Which is the real reason why people started picking her in the first place. Because it was either Thresh and or Leona.
Support Morgana's pretty good against Juggernauts because her ulti, it works on people who are like trying to close in on you.
Yeah,
to just disengage them. Bindings are easy to hit at close range. They're easy to hit when people are running at you and they don't have dashes like Juggernauts. Black Shield is like hilarious against Skarner. So I think Morgana could be picked. I think she, as a champion, is well equipped to deal with Juggernauts in general.
Yeah.
So she might see play.
That's true.
Speaking of Juggernauts, Skarner. I don't remember. Oh yeah. So the slow on his E got reduced a decent bit.
I mean, it's still probably gonna secure a kill. It's just not like as guaranteed as it was. It's at 15% across the board.
And this was a bug fix, right? Yeah, this was a bug fix.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I played him once. I didn't really. I'm not a huge fan of Skarner.
Well, the bug fixes are.
But I know a couple people who like Skarner.
Skarner. Skarner.
I'm more of a Sejuani man myself.
Yeah, whatever.
As you know.
You and your Fredge Lord.
I was so sad they nerfed her like 4 times.
So anywho, the slow change, his ulti is still great. He still has all the move speed from his kit to get in range for ulti. Yeah. Righteous Glory is still an item.
This is like trimming the hedges. He's still strong. He's just not as strong.
Still ungodly tanky. Still just doesn't die. We'll see if this matters. This helps people who are trying to kite him and get away from him. If you've ever played like Ashe into Juggernauts.
Yeah.
Because she's pretty good at kiting people. I've heard. You know.
I've heard. I may have heard that once or twice.
Yeah. So like, this is a range slow. This would be how Skarner can catch up to someone who's kiting him. This makes it easier for him to be kited. Like even if he hits it, he doesn't slow you as much.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this goes. Syndra, this is a bug fix sort of thing.
A bug fix and a buff.
And a buff.
I do like that because I do feel like even with the mana regen item, like and by mana regen item I mean Morellonomicon. I do find myself running out of mana a lot on Syndra.
The other thing why this is a big deal with Syndra is so your ulti needs you to have balls from your Q on the ground. So you need to spam the Q before you ult to maximize the damage on your ulti.
But then when you spend the balls, you have no mana for your ult.
So now you have more mana to do that.
Yeah.
Which is good.
I also feel like this is not the first time I've seen this for the E.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if it's actually going to work this time.
So the old bug was for the collision on the balls hitting people.
Oh, okay, this is slightly different.
So this is slightly different. So there's some abilities where if you try to cast them farther than max range, they just cast at max range. So an example would be like Karthus Q when he's dead. If you try to cast it more than max range, it just casts at max range.
Right.
Syndra Q is another one of those abilities. It works like that. Most line stitch.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you try to cast it at more than max range, some champions will like start walking to get into range to cast it on that spot. But Syndra's just like, no. Annie W used to be like that. No, not Annie. Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser's
Anivia ult works like that.
Yeah, Anivia ult works like that.
Where she just walks towards the area. Same with her wall.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good because it prevents me from putting down a lot of bad walls.
Yeah. But it messes up your timing if you don't have the range right. Anyway, so what a lot of people do to get the stun is just like they put their mouse over the person they're trying to stun to make it easier to line up, and they mash like Q and E at the same time.
Right.
And like that should work for the stun because the range on your E is the same as your Q, and it should just hit the ball as soon as it spawns.
Right. But it didn't because...
And it bugs out and doesn't work.
Hopefully
so this will be good.
Because I do like playing Syndra.
Syndra's pretty fun. You like kill him with your ult and you're like, balls in your face.
I mean, I don't do that.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. Anywho, Tom Kench buff? Right? Let's see.
No. Just kind of quality of life.
Alright. So this gray health change was huge. Colorblind people couldn't see his second health bar.
Yeah.
Complete BS.
I play in colorblind mode even though I'm not colorblind. I just think it looked better.
Yeah. Anywho, this is something they actually should have caught initially in design.
Yeah.
I guess they don't have any colorblind QA testers.
I guess not.
But that's what should be caught on PvE, where you have more people to test stuff.
No one on PvE who's colorblind.
And if I highly doubt that. I do not.
I remember people were complaining about this for
long time,
a number of patches, but I'm glad they finally figured it out.
Yeah.
And the other thing doesn't affect me because I smartcast, but now that I'm thinking about it, that does seem like kind of an awkward combo to do.
Oh,
if you normal cast.
Right. Because if you hit something with the tongue, you can eat it from range.
Yeah, like a minion.
Yeah. So this is a good change, especially if you're trying champion out for the first time. I like to change abilities to normal cast just to get a feel for like range indicators. So, yeah, this would be a good change to help people get used to the champion. Smart casting is overrated too. Yeah. Froggen says so.
Yeah, Froggen doesn't smart cast, which I don't know. I never thought I would like smart casting, but once I got used to it, I was like, this is
another time.
This pretty much, in my mind, guarantees the fact that LGD is going to win Worlds.
The Twitch buffs for Imp.
He's gonna have 2 separate Twitch skins. It's gonna be Samsung Twitch and then LGD Twitch. Samsung White Twitch and LGD Twitch 2 years in a row.
Oh my god, Imp.
Would they do that?
Would they?
I don't know.
They could. I don't know.
I don't think they would.
It might.
But if Imp was like, no, give me Twitch again.
You think Piglet would cry over it?
Probably.
Alright. So actually I like... I don't like this change.
Why not?
So before I would get really frustrated that you're hitting a Twitch and he's trying to go into stealth, and it used to take him 3 seconds to stealth while taking damage.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're hitting him, you're about to kill him, and then he's invisible. He was right here. Where'd he go? I didn't like that. I thought it was frustrating.
Yeah. So they changed it to 6.
They changed it to 6, which I think was good because it provides counterplay to stealth, which is like.
But this is
sort of a reversion.
A compromise. It's right in the middle.
Sort of. So like, the reason I also don't like it is it's like a get out of jail free card for positioning badly. Stealth. I mean, there's lots of counterplay to it. Pink wards.
I have kind of a question. If like Twitch is in the process of going in stealth, but he's not stealthed yet, and you use a scrying orb on him so he gets vision, can you still see him once the stealth completes?
I'm pretty sure scrying orb doesn't reveal stealth, so no.
But he's not.
So as soon as he becomes stealth,
it just
the
goes away.
scrying orb buff is still on him. It's the same buff. That buff doesn't reveal stealth units. I think that's how it would work.
That makes sense.
You could do some testing. It wouldn't be too hard to set up. Too much work.
Another time. Sandbox mode, please.
So, yeah, 4.5 seconds of taking damage. I don't know. I guess it's okay. I mean, there's plenty of other 80 carries that have their own get out of jail free cards. Corki, Valkyrie, Ezreal E.
Just on his existence.
Yeah. Knockback, jump away.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe.
Twitch is one of my favorite 80 carries, so I'm kind of excited about this.
This does make him a little... Well, okay, the reason this is a good change is because if you give him the get out of jail free card, it incentivizes him to try to make riskier plays.
Right.
Because he can get out of it if it goes badly.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, I think it's good. They do mention that. Something about assassination, bottom lane, and... yeah, setting up or escaping sticky situations. I really liked watching the whole submarine thing when Twitch Shen was going on.
Yeah.
Where Shen just appears, taunts him, and Twitch is like, I was hiding! Oh, that's terrible.
I'm not going to try.
I was hiding!
Nah, that might have been worse.
Oh, way worse. I give up.
I'm not
I need some water.
Try. I'll try it off camera. We'll work on it. I love this.
Vigar change, you get...
Now I don't have to get pissed off if someone KS's me and steals that delicious 5 ability power from me.
Delicious 5 ability power.
I love this.
Delicious.
I love... Wait, Unibot?
I love the dark matter change. I think this skill is super frustrating to land after they changed his box from the guaranteed stun. So now that it's a little quicker, a little easier to land, hopefully that works out.
And I like playing Veigar, so that's exciting.
No, he's fun.
Alright, so this, I've played her once. I have no idea what any of this means.
Oh, there was some patches where they changed targeting of minions and stuff. So like Malzahar's Voidling used to just attack stuff randomly. So now if
No, I thought it attacked things.
It prioritized things with space aids.
Right.
But if nothing had space aids, it just sort of...
Oh, I see.
Did whatever. So they changed it to, if nothing has space aids, attack what Malzahar is attacking. And it helps. And they also did that with Heimerdinger turrets, which was amazing for him.
Right.
Because it used to be incredibly difficult to try to last hit with Heimer turrets, because you didn't know what they were hitting.
Right.
It was basically like putting like 3 more minions in your lane, except they do 5 times as much damage. Try last hitting with that. It's not fun.
Yeah.
And then, what's the other pets?
Yorick
ghouls. I think those always had... I don't know if those had good priority or not. Anyway, Zyra plants, if you're playing support Zyra, you get Spell Thief from the ranged one and the melee one. So if the plants hit something, you get Spell Thief. So, like, also if you're playing Zyra, you can cast your ability, put the seed down while the ability is casting, and then the plant spawns.
Right.
So if you're trying to get your Spell Thief gold, you don't have to worry about hitting your spell anymore. Now you can just throw a plant down and target them for an auto, and you know the plant's going to hit them for your gold.
This is just like a giant quality of life change for her.
Pretty much.
Well, that's good.
It's also pretty significant because her Zyra's ultimate makes her plants stronger. It like buffs their attack speed or ups their damage or something like that.
Yeah.
So now if you can know what they're hitting, it becomes significant.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
I'm happy for them.
Here's jungle change items.
This doesn't change why it's OP.
Devour?
Yeah.
Why is it OP?
Because of the double hit thing.
Double hit thing? Yeah. Well, yeah. And this is sated Devourer damage, so this is after the double hit thing when it's already OP, so you're saying this number could be 0 and it would still be broken?
Yes.
Okay. And bonus magic damage per stack. This is before it becomes sated.
Yeah, that's decent.
It's good.
Because that's before it becomes stupid.
Yeah. So how many stacks do you need for sated?
30.
30? Okay. So until your 30 stacks would have been 30 damage on hit. Now it's 20.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter because once it hits 30 stacks, then it goes to 50.
Right. But still, as you're stacking, you have 2/3 as many 2/3 as much damage on hit from the stacks. It's kind of significant.
It weakens it a little bit, but once they hit sated, and I guess it makes it harder when they're not sated. But once they hit sated, there's really not much of a difference.
So here's the thing: do you think sated is strong enough that the on-hit damage per stack could just not exist, and this item would still be good? Like you could make this jungle item.
It depends who you're playing.
Okay.
Playing someone like Xin Zhao, yes.
Well, this item is just absolute trash until it's sated, and then it's OP. You think that would be a fun item or no?
I want to say yes because it gives the other team a chance to like put them in the dirt and make it like almost kind of hopefully guarantee that like that it takes as long as possible.
Okay.
Like yeah, I want to say yes, but at the same time, like I don't play Devour junglers enough to know.
Is this effect good enough that this item could just be dead weight for 15 minutes? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows?
I mean, again, it depends on champion.
Yeah.
Like, if you're playing like.
So your example of Jin Xiao is
Xin Zhao with his like 1/2 Aatrox, but that's buggy as hell. Master Yi.
Vayne.
Does it work with Vayne?
Yeah, it gives her silver bolts every other hit.
Oh, that's stupid.
Most of them build Bork too.
Like this, I feel like this item could give you absolutely nothing, and just keep track of stacks, and then it's sated, gives you the 50 on hit damage. Maybe not even that. It just gives every other auto attack as a double hit, and gives nothing else, and it would still be really good.
Maybe. We'll see. Warrior enchant.
It's
5
back,
extra
baby!
80.
We did it.
We did it, Reddit!
I mean, they nerfed it because all the other options sucked, but then they reworked all the other options so they don't suck. So
right.
now they just gave it back. Yeah, because they remade, because before it was just like health and tenacity, a boatload of AP and cooldown reduction, and what was the attack speed one before?
I don't know, man. Wasn't Devour.
Oh, something. Whatever. Just a bunch of attack speed, I guess. So then they were like, this is way too good, and then they nerfed it. This is back with like the Vi Jarvan days. Now if this comes back, maybe I won't feel as bad for not going Cinderhulk Rek'Sai.
Maybe.
Because that's boring.
You mentioned Jarvan. I want to talk about him again.
Okay.
Because
2 armor!
2 armor!
2 armor, 580!
So Jarvan is like early game, you build Warrior, you do tons of base damage, and Warrior gives you the AD, the armor pen. It's just like huge damage, like right when you finish Warrior. And then late game, your damage just sort of falls off hilariously.
Sorry, talking about Jarvan or Lee Sin?
Jarvan.
Or both?
Lee Sin has much better scaling than Jarvan, I think.
Does he?
Yeah.
Well, now that his ult does % health damage for no reason.
I think it's fun. Anywho, Jarvan's damage falls off a cliff, so usually it's like Warrior and then Tanky right after. So the 2 armor helps his early game. The 580 on Warrior
helps his early game.
Helps his spike right after he finishes Warrior. So Jarvan might be coming back as like...
That's good. I always like Jarvan.
Yeah, as sort of like an all-in sort of jungler for the first few levels.
Yeah.
And then he still sort of does something later game. Cataclysm against Juggernauts is pretty funny. I mean, it's not funny for Jarvan because you're stuck in there with them.
No, it's fine.
You're stuck there with them. It's not fine.
You just need faith in your team.
Faith. Okay.
You just need faith.
Oh, man.
And if you're that close to the Darius, he can't heal off you.
Oh, man.
You just gotta stay really close.
Oh, man.
He won't heal.
Anywho. But yeah, locking down immobile champions is strong. 80 carries like Ashe and Kog'Maw are coming back. Jinx is good for CLG. I don't know who else. Oh, Deft plays Jinx, right? Like really well.
Deft.
So you're saying Imp is gonna play Twitch?
Yeah, Twitch again.
So yeah, with the immobile 80 carries, Cataclysm becomes a much stronger ability.
Yeah.
So maybe Jarvan comes back. I think it would be cool.
I like Jarvan. He's fun.
He can gank at level 2. Really strong gank at level 2. It opens up a lot of cheese for whoever has to play against Faker.
Yeah.
Be warned, Faker, the cheese is coming. And then...
That was so funny.
Dude, 4-man gank Faker mid at MSI.
Yeah.
Dude. Doge.
I don't think he died again after that.
Doge the God Slayer.
I don't think he died again. He just got pissed off.
Alright. Zeke's Harbinger.
Alright, so I lowered the armor.
Lowered the armor because the item was giving too many stats to the support, not to the 80 carry who was buffed by it.
What? Hold on.
They lowered the armor on it,
Right.
but they made the crit chance for your carry better.
What is charge of duration? What is it?
So you bind to them,
Yeah.
and then it charges over time, and then when it's fully charged, they turn like golden, and then they get the 50% crit for however long. And then after 8 seconds, it has to charge up again.
What? Hold on, let me read this.
Here, just read the
Oh
item.
God in heaven.
Is it alphabetized? Should be alphabetized.
Looks like it's alphabetized. It's right at the bottom. No, there it is.
Zeke's Harbinger.
Alright.
Bind to target ally, 60-second
yeah.
cooldown. When within 1,000 units of each other, you and your ally generate charges.
Right.
Attacking or casting spells generates extra charges at 100 charges. Causing damage consumes the charges, increasing you and your ally's ability power by 20% and crit by 50%.
So what's going to 5 seconds?
So if you don't attack at all,
Yeah.
and you're just standing next to the person you're bound to,
Yeah.
it would take you 8 seconds to generate 100 charges. You see how you need 100 charges before,
Yeah.
and then you deal damage to get the crit buff?
Right.
So if you just stand next to each other, you build up charges, right?
Yeah.
And it would take you 8 seconds to hit 100 charges.
Oh, is that what? Oh, okay.
So that's what they're talking about.
I didn't know it was that fast.
So it's even faster if you're attacking things.
Mm-hmm.
I think like each time you do damage gives you a charge or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
So.
But yeah, so before you would have to stand near each other for 8 seconds.
Now it's 5.
Now it's 5. And I think these changes are kind of weird because the counterplay to Zeke's Harbinger is to just like blow up the person with the Harbinger before they can give the 50% crit buff to the carry.
Right.
So lowering the armor on the item is good in that sense. But now they give the buff to the carry faster.
Right.
So it's like these two counteract each other. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, it's still.
So like.
It's still. It's.
So I guess they think the item is fine, and they're just like shifting it a little in both directions. Yeah.
No. It's not. Yeah, it's not too.
I do think 8 seconds is a pretty long time to just wait around. 5 seconds seems like it'd be fun, and it did give you really good stats. Like Glacial Shroud is like. I don't know how much armor Glacial Shroud is.
No, what'd you do? You lost the patch notes.
I know how to use computer.
I think Glacial Shroud is 30.
Is it 30?
I think so. A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
H, I, J,
No.
K.
Oh, there it is. Right there. 20.
20.
I was wrong.
So you went from 20 to 35, right?
Yeah, because it's glacial in 2.
Yeah, you just went from 20 to 35, which is pretty huge. 20 to 30 is a little more reasonable. Dead Man's Plate, love this item. Polymorph now causes the
It's a great item.
momentum.
I didn't know that Polymorph didn't make you lose momentum, but now it does.
Yeah.
Great.
This is like spaghetti code again.
Yeah.
This is more spaghetti code fixes. This is
Cool.
great. Nidalee Spears.
This is amazing. This is the best thing of the entire
Recall
patch.
animations.
This is the best thing of the entire patch.
Pool Party Renekton buff.
I have Pool Party Renekton. I don't play Renekton, but if I ever got Renekton in an ARAM, I would not give that up for anything. And I would just sit there and do that.
Dude, the competitive scene will be rocked by all the Renektons and ARAMs.
There was a video of... I don't remember who it was, but there were just 2 Pool Party Renektons. And they were just going through their recall animation. Like, just ignoring their lane, ignoring the minions. And then eventually they just started roaming. Just, like, roaming to, like, mid lane, and then just started doing their recall animation. Like, there was, like, a team fight going on. They're just doing their recall animation.
Why not?
Like, I need to go find that. I'll show it to you after this.
Alright. HUD updates. People complain about HUD. Rito changes HUD. That's fine.
I mean, hold on. What is summoner names now displayed on scoreboard? I didn't care.
I cared. This one's annoyed me.
Did it?
Yeah.
I don't. That didn't bother me. Team frames above the minimap are large and more readable. Good! Spectator HUD also timers are large and more readable. Sure. Ping button. Did anyone really use that?
Added to the minimap?
Did anyone ever ping using that button?
I would mouse over the button to see what keyboard button I need to press to ping, because sometimes I would forget.
Okay, fair enough.
So, you know.
Well, now that's back.
Yep. Buff for forgetful people.
There you go.
Thank you, Rito. This one actually did annoy me, because when you're playing with friends and your friends play like the same champions,
Yeah.
you don't know who's playing what.
I never.
It's pretty annoying. You're like, Reid, come help me. What? I'm not the Anivia this game.
When other people play Anivia, people are like, Reid, why didn't you help? I'm like, dude, I'm in top lane. I'm like, I'm playing Maokai. I'm just minding my own business. What do you want from me?
This is a cool thing. Instantaneous feedback. I hope this works out well.
That is scary.
Reform cards are
No, the one above it.
Oh, intentional feeding.
Like.
How does it know I'm just having a bad game?
How does it know that I'm not like 1 in 10 on Corki with just a phage?
Well, because you got the 1.
Okay, fine. 0 and 12 with a phage. How does that know that I'm not?
Probably has something to do with measuring your CS. Because like if you're CSing, you're still trying to play even if you're feeding. If you're intentionally feeding,
what if I'm just having a
probably
bad
not
CS
CSing.
day too?
A bad CS day is probably more than 0. I hope.
Yeah, that's true. All right, that's tricky. Yeah.
Oh, and maybe like.
Reform card. That's neat. The reform cards are accessible in client.
I wonder if that means you can see other people's, or if you just see.
I don't think so. I think it would just see your own. I would
okay.
hope, unless you just. I don't really view viewing other people's reform cards as. I thought that was the Victoria skin, and I was like, the final nail in the coffin for me to not grind a gold, because I cannot play Callista. I'm not going to buy the skin. It looks really cool, I'm not going to buy it.
Really? I think it looks just like Callista, except the green is blue.
Yeah, that's what Blood Moon Callista is, except that the green is red.
Yeah, but I like red.
And now Callista and Thresh have 3 skin...
Skinergy.
Skinergies, yeah.
Wait, Blood Moon...
Blood Moon this and their base.
Oh yeah, because their bases are both green.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cute. Bug fixes. I didn't know this was a bug.
I didn't know that either.
Didn't know this was a bug.
Wait.
Didn't know this was a bug.
Darius don't like his Noxiamite from his passive.
Did they fix the double Q bug?
I don't know.
Sometimes you can use Darius Q twice. It's so messed up. I hope they fix that.
That's weird.
This is weird. This is like spaghetti code. To the power spaghetti code. This is just...
That's funny.
Which one?
The 0 one.
Yeah. I didn't even know that was a bug.
They mentioned that twice. They mentioned that before.
That's right. And this one, actually, I did know was a bug. This happened to me in ARAMs a bunch of times, and it was super obnoxious to just, like, walk and be slowed. Like, what?
I didn't know that either.
Alright.
And that's it.
Yep. Those are patch notes.
That's
518.
Patch 5.18. Nothing too... Hey, Nibby Buff. Nothing too... when I saw that, I was freaking out, and then I read it, I was like, no, it's not as...
Oh.
It's not as fun as I thought it would be. It's still fun. Like, it helps me, like, try to make up for the fact, like, when Dragon is 1,000 health, and Dragon's like, yeah, actually, I don't have to smite. I'm like, fuck.
Anywho. Patch 518. Those
it.
are the notes. I'm Manish. This is Reid. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.